let's just close the server. We don't need this anymore. So let's close the VS Code also, and this one let it be. Create our backend here now. Okay, so for that part, let's start the CMD again. So what's we gonna do here? We will now create again a directory here, mkdir. This will be again secret diary backend. This is our backend. Okay, so let's cd into this secret. Now we will open this using VS Code now, and close this. We don't need this. We just need a terminal here. Control Shift Tilde. So we have our terminal now. Okay, so we have our terminal here. Let's open our command from here. Now you all know that we can work on a virtual environment here. So you can Google it out actually. Let me show you. Pip env. If you do this, you can go to documentation here, how to install Django here. So we can install this one, first pip env. So it will be like creating a virtual environment. It make the creating the virtual environment tasks very simpler for us. It make life simpler here. Okay. So you can see that there are so many commands here. Let's see now ppnv Django. Let's see how to install it. Let's see this article. Maybe something you'll find here. So see this command. This is used to install a Django. So create an empty directory with a name project, and we should install a Django inside this the virtual environment. Okay, then we can access the virtual environment in this command ppnv shell. Okay, so we can start the app by using dot operator. It will start the app inside our same folder as we have done for the React part. Okay, don't forget to fill it at the end. Okay, this is important. So if you don't use the caret, it will use like that, two directory one after another. That's why we do that. Okay, so let's now work on that now. Pip env install Django. Let's install the Django here. Okay, so see the virtual environment created by this name, and we can now go into the virtual environment, and the Django is also installed using pip env shell. Right now we have sent that. So see we are inside our virtual environment. So we can now using the command of Django admin. Django admin provides something to us. So let's see Django, nothing is okay. So for Django admin, so using this command we can create our app project first. Okay, Django admin create project. Name this project as the same name as this. Okay, maybe something missing. Let's see. Okay, start app. Okay, Django admin start project. Sorry, start project, not create project. So I cannot do this. Django admin. So it's actually start project. So our name of the project will be backend. Okay, and we will create this in inside the same folder. Let's not do it. So see, so our project is set up now. This is Django product, which is give some initial of init.py to make it a package. This ACI and WGI, these are for actually deployment. Okay, we will get into this later. So this is for the URL. All the other apps that will be used inside this project will use this URL, and we have online inbuilt manage.py that will be used as a substitution around this Django admin. For now, we will use the Python manage.py only. Okay, so we have created our project. So inside Django product, we have to create our app first. That through that app we will make our API call. Okay, so inside a Django product there can be many apps. Okay, so let's do that. Python manage.py start app, and the name of app will be API. So our API is ready. Okay, so before going ahead, let's save this all these changes, and we will start doing the API building. Okay, and there were so many files, you will see that. Okay, I haven't done the init command. Now do this. Okay, git add all, let's stage those changes, and then do git commit -m project and app setup, initial setup. Okay, so we have done this. Now we will work on the API building. Okay, so welcome back, guys. So we have done with the setup of Django project. We have also created our app called API, through which we will send our API request. So let's now do that. So first thing we will do is how to work with this project actually. So you need to think of the API as a we have to look into this API. So the best way to work on Django is it's this is the way preferable, means it's depend on you actually. But if you work on the database side first, so it will be, so there are many ways to deal with this Django kind of project. So first way is first for three things you need to remember, you create the models, then you create the views, and then you set the URLs. This is the pattern usually most developer follows. So in my case, how we gonna build our API? For first thing first, we have to install something called Django we have to install something called Django REST framework. So it's it provides us the basic authentication as well as the get put method easily you can deal with using the REST framework. Okay, so it is used for design RESTful APIs, of course. So the best purpose of backend Django is to create the APIs only. So we will have some get method, the put method, delete method, post method. So for that purpose, we can Django for the curious viewers. Django also have its own by default authentication and as well as the get put method request. So I'm not going to use that. We have it's very simple. It will be simpler in other project. I might show that, but in this project I will be working with using REST framework. So let's hop into the Google from and let's search. So something called Django REST framework. Let's see that. Yeah, most powerful feature I forgot to mention is serialization. Actually, serialization is kind of dealing with the front-end data with backend. Some in naive term you can understand you have some front-end data and you have to convert it to so that Django can read, and we have some backend data. We have to convert that in that way, in a way that React could understand. For that, we use this the REST framework, and we use the serializer. So serializer is a very powerful feature of this Django REST framework. See that. So it's a collaborative founder based commercially strongly enough to invest. Okay, you also have the paid plan. So try to remember this, that you must have the Python version of this and Django version this. So you can check your version as you know. So how to install that? See the step by step installation. So we have to install this pip install. We can use the filter support if you want to filter user data from the database. We have markdown for support of browsable API. We are not going to use this, but we are going to use this. You can also git clone the project, and on your whenever you do that in install app, you have to write your app name. So this is, I also forgot about the last lecture. Let's do that quickly. So we have created our API app, but we haven't registered it in our main project. So we have to do that. We have to remember, every time you create any app, just come here in the install app section and register that app. So we have created API. So that's it. So we have to remember this part. This is very important part. Otherwise, we'll miss. Otherwise, the Django won't detect anything, and it will crash. It won't work. Okay. So for that purpose, we will be doing that. Okay. So this is the step, and we have to register this URL pattern. Why? If you are intending to use browser API, then you can use this. So it's not mandatory here. So these are the things you firstly have to do that. Okay. And then you can set the permissions also. They provide powerful feature of permissions, means who can read this data, who can write on this data, something like that. Okay. So see this, it provides routers also, but we don't require routers here, but you can use it. Instead of creating the slash URL, you can use the routers in the same way that we use in the React. Okay. The serializers and view sets also. I will be view sets, and we have some decorators also, which provide API view, which is used to define what kind of method is support. Like suppose you want to make the method to be a post method, so we have to mention like API view what kind of method. So this is also provided by this REST framework. So it's a pretty useful thing to deal with. Okay, we are not going to use these things. These are all we can do that. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Now let's do that installation. Okay, install. I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it here. So let's install it inside of. Remember to every time you have to we have to get into the virtual environment. Okay. One more thing I will show you later. Okay, just wait. Let it get installed. Okay. So it's saying that it's already done. Okay, I don't know. Maybe some other app they are catching it. No issue. So we have this. So we have to do something else to see that this pattern. Which one is tracing back? It is not the part of our virtual env. So it might cause issues. So if you see this manage.py, there will be some issues because it's not taking the correct interpreter. So how to choose that? You can do the Control Shift P command palette. It will open select interpreter and then select an interpreter. So this is our interpreter. Diary backend JD8. See that, or secret diary maybe. Yeah, this one. Sorry. So choose this. So it will automatically gone. Just wait a minute. Yeah, see. So remember to do that. Okay, don't forget to do that. Here yours, the name of your virtual env should be shown. Okay, this is important thing. Okay. So now we have done our register our app also here. Okay, so now we have to done same thing for the REST framework. So I'm gonna copy the code again from the here, and you can put anywhere. So you can put it here. Okay, no. Okay, so how these are coming actually? This I am selecting a single double. I'm using a single quotes, but how it has converted to double quotes because of prettier I'm using. the code formatter for formatting any language. Okay, so we can install that. Okay, so we have done with this. And one more thing, like in we are using now SQL database only. Whenever you set up, whenever we're gonna deploy the project, we will use Postgres SQL. So whatever data you have, it will be lost actually. So we will create our new database from scratch and run on migration. So we will be using PostgreSQL for that purpose. But here for the deployment development side, I'm using SQLite. Okay, we don't need to worry about now. And it's very easy to because of the Django ORM, you can directly very easy to switch database. Okay, this is not an issue. So first thing first, what's you gonna do it here? So I think it's better to create the database here itself, and we can come back later and also do that. But it is best to create here. Like what kind of database we need to create here? First you have to think about that. So if you remember the our front end design, we have something called diary entries. So we are dealing with a project called diary entries. So think about the things that we need. The first thing we need is the user database, but the user database is by default provided by Django and admin side. Okay, I will show you that in a moment. And we need the diary database where we will collect the store the whatever the whose diary entry is this, and what is the content of the diary entry, and when it is updated, when it is created. Okay, so let's design it. We'll design that diary. So it will be inherited class from models.model. Remember that it should extend this class. So after that we need the user. It will be a foreign key. So models dot foreign key. So we'll make it foreign key to user database name. So let's check how the foreign key syntax work here. Okay, we don't need to copy paste anything. So Django models dot foreign key. Okay, let's see the syntax. Oh, no, we don't have to do this. So yeah, foreign key. One more thing, like many to one relationship. Why many to one? Because one user can have many diary entry, but every diary entry will have only one user. Na, you cannot have a diary and we cannot have a diary entry and there are two users that are owner of the diary, and it's not possible. That's why many to ones, many entry to one user. Okay, remember that way. So we are using the foreign key for many to one relationship. Okay, so see the syntax here. So syntax is like we have to create some name, and models.foreign key we have to provide a class name or the database table for which we are creating the foreign key, the primary key of database. It will be connected directly, and we have to set this on delete cascade. Why cascade? Because on deleting the user, the nodes should also be deleted. I'm repeatedly calling it nodes. It's actually entries. So on using if you delete the user, the entries should also be deleted. This mean cascade. Okay, you can do the set null also. So it's not a good practice. So it's better to keep the data and fill the space for the entries whenever the user is already deleted. Okay, so remember the syntax. So we need the for which purpose we are making for user, actually user database. So where is the user database? You're not going to import directly. If I did, see, you're not showing that, so I will import it manually now from Django.contrive. Sorry, not Django. It's present in Django.contrive.auth import and dot models also. I guess models import. I guess user C. So if you go into this database, let's see what is present here. So it's by default the abstract user. So if you go into the abstract user, if you click here, so see that base user and everything. So it have the username field. See, it's already have created their field, username, first name, last name. We're not going to use it. We're going to use this email only and the username only, and what I can say, this yeah, that's it. So by default, by default it is providing the user database. We don't have to create it's manually. Okay, So, and now we have to set the on delete. It's not catching it. What is this? On delete. Sometimes it catches, sometimes it don't. DELET. On delete equal to models dot cascade. Okay. So we have created the foreign key relationship here. So what do you need here? We need the body part, body of the database, body of the diary entries. So why I'm putting minus here every time? So models dot, it's gonna be char field or text field. Yeah, you can do text field, not char. Of course, text field, and it will have uh, what are you gonna put it here? Okay, set null. I can do it. What do you need this for text field? So text field can be null equal to true and blank equal to true. What does this mean? We can user can have blank entry and as well as null entry. So we can put it null equal to true and blank also equal to true. So we can put a body with null value and a blank value. So it is quietly essential where in the features like, so it used to implement a feature like the your body entry can be null also and blank also. Blank means we can put in blank data. What does this mean? Means user can have its diary entry without any inputs. Okay. So what are we gonna do here? So what are you gonna do here? What are you going to do here? So we will have the updated field, means when the diary is updated. So we will require two field here, updated and created. So created is like when the diary entry is created, like the first time it is created, and updated means every time it's updated. So the date time will be updated in this process, but created will be only one date time, means once it's created. So we will have updated field here of models dot what kind of field is it? Date time field, and you can put auto now equal to true. What does this means? Let's look into Google. Auto now and auto now add. Okay, see the difference. What is the difference between these two fields? This is tag overflow. Yeah, let's do it. That doesn't matter. Yeah, this one also medium article. Let's see this. Auto now option is used to set the value of field to the current date and time every time the model's instance is saved. Okay, so remember that in updated is exactly like whenever it is saved we update the value. Like we are going to save it, like suppose some entry is done, then we saved our entries, so it is used to set the data of that time only, timestamp kind of thing. And up to this other hand is used to set the value of field to the current date and time only. So current date and time only means whenever we don't require this, when the every time you update it, once you have created it, it's required there. So we're gonna use the two fields here. See this created. So we have to look into this. Auto now equal to true, and we will have one more field called created equal to models. Again it will again a date time field, but with some different. It will be now auto now add. Okay, so remember the difference here, it's gonna be add equal to true. Okay, so this is our model. We only need these four fields only, and that's it. Our model is done. Okay, so auto now add. Okay, we haven't done any silly mistake. So now we have to create before running that we will run our migration. Now I haven't shown you how to get a live here, show the page live, but before that I will be I haven't created any URLs, so it will be using the default default. It will be using the default URL, but we have created our database. So, and if you suppose you run this, see what happened. Python manage.py run server. This is the way you install the server. See, something in warning it will come in red. See what are those error. Okay, see, you have 18 unapplied migration. Why this is coming? Unapplied migration in Django means we have created something, we have updated some database field, but we haven't done any migration. Like we haven't updated in the database, like SQL 3 they are using. So for models part, we have once you created this API app, the models the for the auth user, like the by default user, it is already created, but the migration are not applied. So and we haven't post our data entries to the database. For that purpose, you have to run the migration command here. So how can you do that? You can open one more terminal and just run this python manage.py make migration. Okay, see, we have created our model, and other there are many things is also created, but it's not shown here. But and we can do migrate now. So we once it is to take all the changes. This is to upload in the database. Okay, this command migrate. Let's do that. See this, we haven't done this thing applying auth admin, but these are done by default by the what I can say, by default by the Django admin. So they are present there only. So okay, it's done now. So one more thing I need to do, I have to create a super user. What is a super user here? In let's not Google it. I know how it's work. So super is a kind of a user we can we usually create to deal with the database part, especially the user database part. So we can create our, you can through admin we can update our database, we can delete our database, make some entries. So we don't need any front end to do that. So this is the powerful, I will say, one of the powerful feature of Django, that you don't need a front end to work with the database here. So let's do that. I'm gonna clear the screen, and let's do like Python, how to create a super user. Okay, python manage.py create super user. Try to spell it correctly. So it will now commit the username. So we can do like my fitness freak computer geek. Okay, my username is this, and I will give some fake email address, gmail.com. So when password is, I'm gonna say password anything. Okay, so we have super user created. We can check it by going into and first let me run the server now. You can quit it this way and run again. Python manage.py run server. Okay, let's now run. See that this error will gone at this time. Okay, see. So now we can open our app. Okay. Go open your app. So firstly the Django page will be shown here. Okay, so this shown that we have installed our install our app properly, and we are now ready to work with. So I'm gonna show you how to deal with that super user part. So I will use something called admin. You can go into admin. So see here they're saying it to log in. What was our username? Fitness freak computer geek, if you remember. Let's log in. So this is the admin panel, you can see. So this is the all the database, it will come here. So we already have the user database. Here you can see the information of our user, that is our super user. Okay, this is our super user. Okay, this is staff status, means he is admin. So okay, so now one more thing we can do, we can add our custom database here also, like the diary we have created, so that we can manipulate this data. So how to do that, let me show you that now. Just minimize the terminal. So just go into admins.py. okay, here you will find admins.py. so here you can admin dot register dot so see the syntax. So let me check it, let me make sure. Let's see how to register a model in Django. We should have done it. We can do this way. Mod also admin.site.register whatever your model name. Okay, this is our syntax. So remember that whenever you no confusion syntax, just Google it out. Don't try to copy paste from somewhere. Okay, admin.site.register, and we'll pass the model name here. What is our model name? User or diary? Diary. Sorry, username is already a diary. No, the user is already there in the database. Diary. Just saying that it's not in React. It usually import. Okay, you can import. So we have registered now. Let's see the admin page now. Something will happen here. See this. We don't need it anywhere. If you go to admin page, if you refresh it, see we have our entries here, diaries. So we can add our notes here, and we can later modify that. Okay. This is the powerful feature of Django admin. We don't need any front end to work it. It alone can work by itself. Let's have entries. Add some entries here, and we will by using the entries for this user only, and we'll have something like, hey, I am admin, something like that. So it is created already. Okay, we'll come back later here. Okay, let's now close this, and I want to open another panel. I don't. Okay, so we'll work here now. So we have created our database, and we have modified a added to admin panel. Now let's create some view, and let's work on the Django REST frameworks. Okay, so for that purpose I will be going here. I will be creating our view. I will be creating my view. So from REST framework dot, see that how many features here. We can use the decorator. We can use the auth token. I will go ahead and auth token later. Fields and many things are there. So I'm gonna use this decorator. I'm gonna import API's views actually. So this is decorator. See this. It is used to convert a function based view into API view class. Take a list of allowed method for view as argument. Okay, so this is our important part. Take a method to view as argument. So let me create our view. So I'm gonna apply the decorator here, API view. So we'll pass the method type of method. I want to pass a get method here, and I'm just creating my root. It's just a demo root. Def we will create like get root, something like this, and we'll pass here request. Then we're gonna response. We have to import it here. So from what's gonna need from. So what you're gonna do here? So we got, I think response is there. Okay, so you can import a response. It's different from the HTTP response that is provided by the Django by default Django. Import response. So see this, what's the response is doing. HTTP response that allowed this data to be rendered into a 20 media file, whatever media file we want JSON, and whatever the client request. Okay, so we're gonna return a response here. Welcome to diary backend, something like that. Okay, now save this. So we have created our database, we have created our views. Now we have time to register our view to a URL. So for that part we have to create one file called urls.py. okay, You can open here, and I'm gonna go to urls.py dot our main project. So we're gonna import something called I'm gonna copy this some code, paste it here. We don't need it, admins or anything, but we need the path, so we can import the path from any fixed word. Anything is provided. Import from OS, not that part, OS part. Yeah, this part from urls.py. See this? Okay. This part will show the path of the URLs. Okay. So we can provide, see this definition, and what we need to pass, we have to pass the string value, that is our routes. Then we pass the view name, that is our view name, and we can provide our any dictionary argument, like what is the type of this name of this URL, something like that. Okay. Hope you get it. So what's gonna pass here? I'm gonna pass it to home page only. So I want to load this to home page, and what you're gonna need for from the same model, we're gonna import from dot import views only, from dot import views only. Okay, now we can use these views. So views dot whatever views we have created. We have created this view. Okay, we don't need to pass the function argument here. Okay, and you can pass the name also, name as routes, something like this. Okay, save it. So we have to register this part for our this also, for URLs, for what, for the for our API, means for our app. So we're gonna do it here. So we're gonna do it like API slash, so every URLs our will followed by API slash. So API slash homepage, API slash register, login, something like that, get data, post data. So we're gonna use the include function here. Include function here is come, I guess. Include here is yeah. So see this, what include does. So it's kind of tuple where we provide the include whatever the whatever the URLs we want to do, what type of URLs we want to do. So include. So see the documentation here. Let's see this include tag, what's it do. Not this one. Let's see the URLs import maybe. It's not there. Let's search here. Something should pop up now. It's a simpler URL. I think only one element, but I'm getting confusing here. Okay, only the same URL, that's what I'm thinking. So we can do it like the app name, that is our API dot URLs. That's it only. So this is the case. Okay, so I have to include the URLs to for our app. Okay, we have to include the URLs for our app, then it will work actually. So let's try now. I think I have done with everything. Hope I haven't break anything. Let's try to go to the home page of this only. Let's refresh this. Okay, nothing. Go to APIs only, /API. See this, we have our REST framework set up. This is the we have our REST framework. This provide a user, super user. So this provide our super user, and we gonna whatever message we gonna do it with part C. It's our get request. We have done that. If you see this, if you have done this with a get request, so whatever message we do, it is rendered as our template. Okay, so later I will show you how to serialize this when we gonna take the data from the database and display for the users or the client. So we have done this. So this is the basic setup for our REST framework. So we have seen that how can you set up your REST framework. So this is the basic example here. Firstly, you have to create the models, then you have to serialize it, then you have to create the views, then you have to create the URLs. Same pattern is followed everywhere. Okay, so you will get by practice will you will be used to this format. So don't worry about that. Okay, so for now just follow me along. Okay, hope it is clear to you guys. If you have any doubts, please ask me in the comment section. I don't want anyone to be get confused. Okay, it's very simple thing anywhere. Okay, so let's now do something called what are you gonna do now? Let's first create our commit here. Git status. So these are the files that is created, the migration files and whatever changes we made. So we have to gonna do git add all, stage all, then git git commit -m. What is gonna do? REST framework installation. REST framework installation and first view created. So this is a very important thing. I'll always always remember to use this git commit. Okay, you will be in safer zone. It's best practice followed by any software developer at industry level. If you're gonna work for big MNC, you have to do or any company actually. So you have to be very frequent with git. You have to you must develop a habit of saving all the files whenever you made some small changes. In this way you won't break the production or deal with some very bigger issue. So we have now saying that let's now create the let's now create for the sign up page, sign up request. So this API will handle all the sign up requests. Means from the client side we will take the data, and after taking the data we're gonna sign up that user. Okay, or make the changes, commit the changes to database. Okay, so first let's do that. API views, what kind of request we are sending. The form from client side we will set a post request. So this will URL will handle the post request. So this view will handle. So def you can see register user, something like that. Okay, so again we're gonna pass the request. So what's he gonna do here now? We need the firstly the username. We need username equal to request. So now see that we are using the REST framework actually. So for that purpose you don't have to use like request.post.get. We can directly get from the data. So request.data.get. So we don't need now. Let's close this. So we're gonna work out here. So so what are you gonna do? Firstly we check if the method is post or not. But it's already a post method I am decorating, but user can send some weird required response also. So for that, if request dot method equal to post, then you're gonna do this. Okay, how I'm doing it? I'm doing the changes in VS Code using control and right bracket. Okay, it will work like this. It will give the indentation. So we're gonna get a dictionary value, username. Whatever you pass from the front end, it will store in a username, and later we will modify the database. Okay, email equal to request dot data dot get. So it's kind of a dictionary if you remember. In Python dictionary work like this also. Password equal to request dot data dot get password, and for one more field we have to confirm password. Confirm password. So confirm password equal to request dot data dot get. So just pass this same thing. So this is our data. So if the request dot method is post, so we're gonna do these things, and after that what's we gonna do it, we have already have the now the data, so we will check this. First is you're gonna check the password or confirm password is matching or not. If it is if it is not matching, then we'll throw the error like the you have provided the password doesn't match, something like that. So if password not equal to what I'm writing, confirm password. So if it is not equal, so we'll return a response with an error actually. So we'll return a response with an error something like that. User password don't match, password doesn't match, does not match. Okay, powered, not password. Password, sorry, password. So we'll also pass the status here. What is going to do it? So we pass the status so that Django can learn, so that the client side can get this beautiful error message like something happened from the server side. So for that part, we have to send a status here. Status equal to. So we are gonna need the status here. It is also provided by REST framework here. From REST framework dot status import everything. No, just REST, from REST framework just import the status. Import status. Okay, and we're gonna deal with here. So status dot what is the type of status we will find here? We'll find the 400 like no, the bad request, like we don't want to deal with this when the password is not there. Okay, so on saying that it is done now, this is perfectly matched. Now we have to do our try catch block here. So what's you going to do here in try catch block? First thing first, that if the user is not none, that the user is created, then you can do user equal to, you will set the database now user. So you have to import a user also from Django dot contrib dot auth dot models import user. So you can use the user user dot object dot create. So create user, not super user actually. So this way will tell the ORM to create this user. Okay, with the field name, with whatever we provided. So username. So we can check the method, this one also, create user method. Create user, something like this, create user in Django. Let's see that. It should be like create some method will be given here. It's too much big and usually don't find it useful official in this one. So you can make just go to Stack Overflow. So see this object dot create user, we have to provide the username, email and password, this field. Okay, so it's a very important thing. So one of the important feature of the Django. So we'll pass the username here, email equal to our email, whatever you get from the user, email equal to email, and then password equal to password. So we need the password here, and just save it. should reformat. I haven't reformatted it. So if the user is created, then so let's do it. So we have let's do it. So we have created the user here. So if everything goes well, we'll create our user. So then if anything is if everything is good, then what are you gonna do here? We will create the user in the database itself, and then after that we can have our exception. Something happened, like suppose that the user have already registered in our database, and another user tried to use the same email and similar username and email address. So it should accept an integrity error where something called integrity, integrity constraint in database. If you remember, then integrity constraints in integrity constraint said that no two tuples should have the same value. So here in our case, no two tuple, like the users should have same email address. So we have to import that integrity error. Let's see where it come from actually. Integrity error in Django. So integrity error, let's search this way. I think it's getting me the error, so I don't want to set this error. I want this one, integrity error. So yeah, we have to import from db. Okay, from Django.db you have to import the integrity error. It's come from database of our itself. So we're gonna use it from Django na, from Django.db. Oh man, from Django.db you're gonna import integrity error. Okay, so we're gonna use it here. See this integrity error, not showing nothing. Okay, let's see entry. So integrated error. So in this case, what are you gonna do? We will send a response as no. So we will send a response as error as user already exists. Already and we will pass the status as unauthorized. We can pass like status dot http /400 bad request. You can pass any error message, but it should be what I can say, it should be effectively, it doesn't matter actually. Okay, so we have this. So unless if this is not the case, then we're gonna return no. So you're gonna return the response as user created. Okay, if all these accesses are true, so we're gonna return response as success. This time success. Remember this keyword. You're gonna use it like user say created SUC successfully, and we're gonna pass a status as status dot http I can say http 201 created. Okay, that's it. So we have created our view. Now we have to register this view. So I'm gonna register here, path equal to, so just make it a part as register slash, and it should be the view whatever you have done, views dot register user view, and just put it a name equal to register user register something. Okay, now test our implementation. Now let's go into this, close this. So let's KPI slash, remember that everything start with our the API part. Okay, so now server is not running. What happened? Let's see, something went wrong. Invalid sentence. Okay, where Something went wrong. Why is invalid syntax verifying? Why I'm getting invalid syntax here? It is correct. How it is possible? Okay, I forgot the comma. Silly mistake. Not found. Okay, RIGIST. Why I'm doing this type of mistake? Now it should come. Okay, so see that we have our basic form, and we can use the JSON method here to post the request also. Talk to the backend. Let me show you that. Okay, so we'll have some username. Don't forget the double quotes here. Username equal to user comma password equal to password something, password 123 something, and you have the username also. Email, sorry, I forgot the email. email 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 what's wrong with this? So I should have copied this and the confirm password also. So let's see that we are getting some error or not. Okay, okay, again it's gone. Oh man, I have to write everything. I should copy it here. Let me show you this. I have to show this password 123. So we will have the final field as confirm password, confirm PAWS password. Okay, see, the user is created. So if you check the database now, you will find the user here. Let me show you. Let me go to user. See that our user is there. Okay, so nice, it's working. So our API is working perfect. Nice, we have done it. Good job. Let's update the Git repository. Git status. What is happening? Git status. So let's do it. Now my computer is hacked, making some slow, so I will stop it now. Then I will begin the record after some time. Okay, so git commit minus c data and re register API done, something like that. Okay, you can customize your own commit. So we have done with this the register, and similarly we will done the login now and then log out. Then I will create all the method to deal with our entries. Okay, so see you. So where were we actually? So we have created the register user. Okay, now and also this demo routes. Now we will create the login. Now we have registered the user. Now let's log in that user. So again API view, and login will be like what? It will be like, it will be again a post request. Why? Because we are posting the data from the form of login credential. So we will have the definition of login user. Okay, and for that we need to pass the request. Then what are you gonna do? We again do we will log in only username and password. Okay, so we can check the Django. So Django user login, something like that. So these are user object, as we have already seen this. So username, password, and this. So creating user, it's not ORM way. In this way you can create a user also. You're using the username and email without any password. So these are not required actually. So this will be, we will be using this authenticating user. So once we log in the user, we wanna authenticate the credential with the existing user. So with that, for that we will pass there the login and whatever our credential is. Okay. So Django REST framework, we have to import auth. It's coming from auth only, authenticate, and then we will authenticate the user if the user data is valid. Try to authenticate if the user is not known, if because the not data found, if the user is not known with if the user exists, so we will say that user login successfully, and we will use a login function. Okay, I will show you it here. They might have shown this login function. Login. The weird way they are doing this documentation, you know. Yeah, see, so you will use the login method here. It also come with the Django contrive. So these two method we will be using, authenticate and the login to login the user. Okay, got it. Same exact thing we're gonna do it, but we are using the REST framework, so we just get the data from .get. Okay, we don't have to use this post. So request if firstly check if the request dot method equal to what post, then we're gonna do that, not post. So we'll do like we'll get the username, we're gonna log in on the username and password. Okay, username, this is the default login, you can change it. Okay, you can set up the email also, it doesn't matter, but username and password is the most common way to log in the user, so that's why I'm using it. So request dot data, we get from that data we get the username, and that is the username and the password equal to request dot data dot get password. So we get the data and password, then we authenticate the user equal to authenticate. So we have to import that first. So let's now first sort this. The Django.contrive should come before the and to sort also. There is shorter way to do it. This is something called sort. Yeah, sort line ascending. So it will directly sort it. Okay, let's show you that. Nice. So now our the import students should always be sorted. Okay, so what are you going to need here? REST framework dot auth. Now we will do here auth from REST framework. So how I done that? I use a control. I just select this and use the control shift P to command palette and just search for sort lines by sending. Okay, if you're curious, user might want to know from Django only, na. I think it will be contrive.auth. Okay, it will be above this. Oh, let me write, it will take care of the user. From Django dot contrive dot auth import, we're gonna import authenticate. You can authenticate the user and login the user. Okay, you can have logout also, we'll deal with later. Okay, when we design our logout method. So let's sort again. Control shift P. Nice. So yeah, it was so this way you can this way you can structure your code. It's very important to do that. Okay, why this space here? Okay, so now let's go back here. So authenticate. So you can authenticate the user. You use it firstly, you pass the request as we seen here. See the way they are doing it. We pass the request, then the username and password. Okay, exactly same way. So then you pass the username equal to username, password equal to password we have passed the username and password. So later we will check that if user is not none. So in this case what we're gonna do, so if user is not none, then we send a response like user is logged in. Response we will send in success method, success that user is successfully fully logged in. Status equal to status dot okay. We'll send in HTTP okay 400. I don't remember, 200 maybe. Yeah, 200. Okay. So we'll have this. And if not the case, means somehow we are not able to log in, means the user have set the invalid credentials. So we will set here else. I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna write it again. So we will now send an error here. So invalid credential. Try again. Invalid. So try again. So in nice login method here. So it will be like error and not, I think 400 unauthorized. Not 400, 201. What is that? Unauthorized is what? I don't know. Remember that code name? Yeah, 401. Okay. So nice, done. Let's test this. So I'm gonna start the server. Okay. Firstly I have to start the cell. ppnv cell. Start the virtual environment. Sorry, not the cell. So now Python manage.py run server. Okay, it's done. Let's check login. Okay, we have done something we're missing. Can you guess what we missed? We are forgot to register this login in URL. So you have to do that. I'm gonna copy this. It's a good way. Some of you might have done this, but I forgot it. Do it. Login. Let's do that. So we have the login user, I guess. Okay, the name will be login. Okay, nice. Let's check it now. Let's reload. Let's get reloading. It's reloading. Yuck. So let's go to Chrome. Register. We have now. Let's check login. Can we able to log in? The TAT user we have created earlier. Okay, so let's log in that user. So we pass gonna JSON data here. Username. Okay, don't forget to use double quotes, otherwise it won't work here. And username should be our whatever the username our he was user, and he have a password of 1 2 3. I guess that was the password. Let's see this. Okay, HTTP response is not returned from the view class none type. Okay, I haven't written anything. Okay. sorry. Return. Oh, how can I forget this? Always forget. Of course you have to return the response here. I should do this too here. Let's see. It will again redirect me to do that. Okay, don't worry, no issue. We learn from mistake only. See, the user is logged in. Okay. So post method we have get the okay message what we have passed. Okay, nice. This is the endpoint we are dealing with. Perfect. We have now make a nice endpoint for the user who can log in from the client side. Okay. Now we have done with the login here. Now let's log out function. Let's make it that also. It's gonna be a simpler one. API view. So what's kind of method? Again, it's a post method. We will use a button here to post the post method. Let's log out. Okay. So def logout user. We're gonna pass the request. So what's it gonna do? So I don't know what was happening. Why they? Oh man. So okay, one more thing I forgot to show you guys, that you can see. What hell? What happened is, okay, yeah, see, we have login done. Firstly, this error come because we have haven't written a method, so we get this issue with that because of. But then again we try this, we got this. Okay, hope it is clear. Let's do the logout user. So what you gonna do here? So if again check if request dot method equal to what, post, then what's he gonna do? Then we will log out the user. So for that we have to use the logout function provided by the auth of Django. Logout. So how are you gonna log out? Let's check that. Logout Django user Django. Let's test this. We can get hit from here also, but stack overflow we will get immediate response. So that's it only. About the request we pass. Request we don't need to pass anything. Then we can return here. Oh, here. Return response. We're gonna pass it successful message here. Success. I'm gonna do like user logged out successfully. And we pass the status here. Okay. So we've created the view. Now we have to register the URLs. I'm gonna copy it. Log out. Okay. Let's also change this to log out. Let's test this. Something wrong? Okay, perfect. Let's check it now. Let's go to logout. Okay, we have this logout user method. We don't need to pass anything. If you pass the user name and password, it will always log out. Okay, so it's only get method. Get is not allowed. Okay, so this is our logout function. So we'll always sort because the get method is not allowed. Okay, only you have post method here, that's why. Okay, don't worry about that. We have done the post request here. That's why popping the error like no, get request not allowed. Okay, so now let's now work. So you can test it only using the from when we will work with the React, we will test that there. Okay, if something went wrong, we will debug it. Okay, don't worry about that for now. Just focus on creating the APIs. Always. Git add git commit -m login logout API done, something like that. So we have done with the authentication APIs. Now let's move on to getting the entries, diary entries, and deleting entries and everything. Let's create that now. Okay, so first of all, to test that, I will be going into this and I will be creating some notes here. Okay, for that user we have created. So you can go to where diaries, here you can create the notes. So add diary. So I will add for this user only. Hey, this is my first note, fourth entry. Why I'm saying come every time on note, it's only diary entry. So we'll have something, and I will add one more. Hey, this is my second entry. So we have done with that. Now we'll create a view for the displaying the entries. Then we will get method is to display the entry. Then we're gonna do a post method to create create the notes and note entries. We will first get the notes entries, all the entries. Then we get develop the method of individual entry. For the user, like if you remember the front end, there was some list of entry that was we are showing. So on that list, if user click, they can get an individual diary entry. So for that, we will get individual entry also, second get method. And third will be like update. We want to update the method. We want to delete, like put, and we want to update. For update we will use put request. For delete we will use delete request. Okay, so let's now design that entire view, and after finishing that we will get back to our front end and start working on the connecting the front end and back end. Okay, so let's now do that. So where were we have created our routes. Now let's create the get entries routes for getting the entries. So API view. So it can you guess it what kind of method it will be? It will be a get method. Of course we are getting the data from the database. So def what I can say, create, not create, get diary entries. Again we have the request. So first thing first, what's he gonna do here basically? So you will get the data based on a user actually, because every user have his own diary entry. So every user will have his own diary entries. So based on that we will get our entries. But in this case, if I do that, I am not able to send the request from the front end. I am not able to get the from the data whatever the header the payload that sent from the front end. Then for that front end we get the user data, but we are not able to do it here because we don't have any front end here. When we get the front end, we will get into we will modify that method actually. So based on user, we will filter the data based on user data only. But for now, I am just getting retrieve all the nodes from the database. Okay, later will be modified when we get into the from the front end side. Okay, don't worry about that. Let's keep it simpler here. So something like that. Entries equal to diary. You have to import it from dot models, from dot models, from dot models, import diary. We get our diary data table. Now what you can do, well, pass we, okay, so many lines of code. Diary and dot object dot all. So we'll get all the object here, and for after that we will serialize the data. So this is done because we are sending the request to the front end and we are getting requests from the front end. So it will be done by JSON only. JavaScript asynchronous, something like that. I don't remember the acronym, but we will get it. We have to convert it to JSON format so that user can run and we can also get the data, and the client side can also get the data for that or post. Or for that purpose, we will use serializer class. So let's search serializer. What's it do actually in Django? Serialization. Serializers in Django. Okay. So it is also provided by REST framework, as I told you earlier. Okay. Let's search that. So Django serializers. So how we gonna create our serializer? So first we're gonna import this series line from the REST framework. We're gonna import the serializers, of course. Then we can serialize this way also. Email serializers, email all the field, or there is one way also. As we are dealing with all the fields of our data, we can do in shortcut also. Okay, so this is the way we do that. Okay, this is one way. We will see another way here also. So what is serializer? Serializer how complex data such as query set and model instead of converted to native Python data type that can be easily rendered through JSON. Okay, and other content type. So we will be using the JSON in the front end. So let's do that now. Okay, this is I was looking for. So this is the way actually do that. We can have methods also, whatever we want to do that, but we're not going to deal with that. We will just create a serializers.py file and we'll deal with that only. So we'll create this any class like user serializer. We'll create our diary serializer. Then we'll create a meta and we pass the model as what diary. Then we're gonna field. We will take it all the fields. Okay. So what is next here? Anything they provide about the multiple object, they also given it. Okay, so you can read the documentation. Okay, don't worry about it, but we will gonna use this simpler one. Okay, this is the best our way. So let's do that now. Let's create one file here. Create one file called type. You have to spell it correctly. serializers serializers.py. So firstly we want to import from REST framework, from REST framework, import serializers. So we have seen the statement here now. This is, I think this is the way they provided. So we have to import not this one. Why did this one directly? Why they are showing directly this? Yeah, what's called? People can get confused here. Okay, serializers. Okay, and where were we? Yeah. So let's do that now. So and now we also need the models also. So let's import it here from dot models. One of same files. Import diary. So let's now create a serializer class diary serializer, serializers serializer. So you have to remember this. You have to create this way only. See that how they are creating your user, your table name, then serializer class name. Okay, so we'll import here serializers dot model serializers, actually model serializer. Let's check this class, what is it say. You get come to know more. I'm not getting intelligence here. Okay, so model serializer. So there are so many things here. See, we were gonna use our email and everything is made here actually. We can create our customize serializer objects also. Okay, but for this project we don't gonna need it. Okay, hope it is clear. I hope it is pretty trivial project actually. So yeah, so we have the methods also. So it's like a database also, but it's just create the serializer. Okay, so if it is clear, it should have some now we create the meta class. This is the way they do it. Okay, don't ask me that why I'm using this. So firstly we have to specify the model equal to whatever model diary. See that if you forget it, just see here our model, then we mention the fields here. I will use all the field. So it is like double underscore all double underscore to get all the field. Okay, so we have our serializer class ready. Let's now use it here. So I'm gonna do it. Let's see how it's gonna do it, how they're doing it. Serializer. This would provide some examples here. They're not creating any serializer class actually, so don't worry about that. Okay, yeah, this way you can do it. So serializer, we can call our serializer and pass the data here. Okay, exactly we will be doing it in the same way. We can pass sometime instance also. Okay, when update and you can say pass the instance. Okay, there are so many ways to do it, but it is the best way to do it, and one of the best way to do it. Okay, we can get the errors also. So where were we? Yeah, here. So we'll create a serializer here. SCRIALIZD serializer equal to so we'll call that class. So firstly we have to import that class from dot serializers. We're going to import diary serializers. So diary serializer, we will pass diary entries. Okay, and we will return that serializer then. So we've done with this. Now we have to return this serializers data. So we're gonna return a response with this serializer data. Okay, hope this is clear to you. Let's see that how they're doing it. Okay, I won't find here. So you can return like this. Return serializer dot data to get the data. It's actually dictionary only, so we will use this to get the data field. Okay, so this is the way we do that. I think it is done. So I think there should be response now. Okay, we have to deal with response also. So just cover it and response. You can do this way. We'll return the response. Okay, let's see that. For that yeah, again I'm forgetting this every time. Okay, so now let's come here and paste something. It will be entries, suppose. Entries. So we will be get diary entry. It's just entries. Let's save it. Hope I haven't broke anything. So much line of codes here. Don't worry guys, if you're beginners, don't worry, it will be come with practice. Okay, it's very simple thing you will be find out. This is Django. It's very user friendly actually. So let's now go into here. I'm gonna API slash entries. Let's check that. We have already created the 2 entries for the user, if you remember. If we haven't break anything. ENTRTRIES. Okay, TR. What's happening here? Entries. Okay, I'm doing this silly mistake here. ENT. Why I'm doing this mistake? I don't know. Maybe something missing. Let's now do that. Okay, so we're taking time. Come on, man. Okay. When attempting to get the value field user on serializer. Okay, I may have done some mistake here. So got attribute error when attempting to set a value for field user on serializer. Okay, let's fix this error. Don't get scared of this error. What's the error say? Like got attribute when attempting to get a value of user on a serializer. I might have done some mistakes here. The spelling mistakes. Okay, let's check it. So we have the class here, we have the fields here. Something I done with here. Okay, no, it's fine. Let's check the serializer. And then after that. So let's now see why the error is coming here. Let's debug. Actually, we have the serializer, diary serializer, serializers.model serializer. So, and we have the URLs here, entries, and something wrong with the models. My models. Maybe the models, something wrong with the models. So we have ours, the model have user, something is wrong with this field. Foreign key equal to true, then this, then view equal to request.get, diary entries, so let's pass the many equal to true. Maybe this is causing the issue. There is something called many equal to true in many equal to true, what I'm writing here. True. Okay, that was causing this. So many equal to true. Okay, so it was like many equal to true, something like that. We want to deal with the many how many datas we have or single data. That's why. Okay, so see that for the user 2, the user 2 is our user. For that the data is coming. On later point we will deal with only the user 2 data will come and or the user 1 data, means or filter based on user. But for now I am getting all the data. So okay, hope it is clear to you. So we have created the the get diary entries field. Let's now commit that change. Also created a serializer. Why I am always missing this G? I don't know. Get status. Always do that before selecting anything. So we have seen that something I've done with the database also. Why? Because we have done a request. That's why. What is request? That we have fetching the data from the database. That's why. Git add. What was command? Oh, sorry. Git add space git commit created serializers. Oh, SCRIALI serializers, created serializers and get entries entries view. Okay, let's commit it. Okay, we are getting the entries now. I want to get entry based on the and like what I can say, done diary ID. That the diary IDs means the suppose there are two entries. Now I just want to fetch one entry. Where it will be useful when we will deal with the the created front end where we gonna on click on the entries we get single entries. So for getting the single entries we have to deal with the IDs of that entries. That is diary entry that we are getting here. See that based on this ID. So we can get the individual the object of the our diary. Okay, so let's create that one also at the rate what I'm doing silly. We also it is get method and the same it will be same similar to this only, just the dia diary entry. So we'll pass the request here, and after that I think it will be my what I'm doing, it's not any sorry. And we also need one more thing called pk. Based on pk we're gonna means primary key we're gonna filter the data. Okay, so diary entry equal to same thing diary dot object dot get. Now we're gonna get we don't want to get or create, only get. So we pass the pk here, so means we'll get the pk from the urls and based on that pk we're gonna filter the data. Okay, this is this is the meaning of this line. Okay, now let's create the serializer. serializer serializer. Let's create a serializer as diary serializer. We're gonna pass this serializer diary entry and we're gonna pass this time many equal to false. Why? We want only one single data, that's why single thing. I haven't thought that this will create so many issue in the last we were creating. Okay, so now let's return the data, return the response. Yes, so usually it's best practice to put it in a try class block because anything can happen, but it is very simple project, so that's why I'm not doing it. On later phase when I'm dealing with complex project I will be using the try catch block. Okay, so response. So in this response what it's going to do, we pass the serializers dot data. Okay, so let's save it. Okay, so and again we have to create the urls for this. So we just pass here that pk value. Okay, nothing else, and just pass the diary entry, not entry, entry only. Okay, let's save it and let's see this. Let's try this. First let's see the server is running or not. Server is very slow now. I think my system is very getting so much. Okay, let's check it out now. So let's check it out now. Okay, so we go there. So see that we will go the by 2 I did 3 only. Okay, let's see, try this entries slash pass anything. Okay, see individual data is coming. Okay, now we have created this urls. Nice. Let's see the one more example. Okay, so we have created this, and one more thing you should ask me here, why I am using here str here. Okay, let's minimize this. Why we why I'm using str here, because one time we will create a new diary entry. For that part we don't want to pass any keys, we can pass any new or something string also, so that's why I'm using string. Okay, we'll get it when we will get it more when we design our front end, means connection of front end and back end. Okay, let's now commit this change and let's now restart my computer. It's getting very slow. And I will again design delay, now creating method, creating the diary entries, then deleting the diary entry as well as updating it, and one more operation like deleting, updating and creating. Okay, three only. Okay, so get the status, get add, get commit, get indi entry done. So what were we? So we were building this get diary entry and get diary entry. Now we will create the diary entry. So as we were discussing, so API view, whatever method it will be, we want to create an object, create the diary entry. So what kind of request is gonna handle? So usually from the client side we have the, if you remember, you have the last text area where we put our notes. So that note, still I'm saying notes, is actually diary entry. Whatever entry made there, this entry need to be stored in the database, and as well as which part of the database, we have the diary table. If you remember this, say that we have the diary database where you have the user, body and updated and created, where the text area is actually stored. It is stored in body. So we're gonna take the data from the, and two things we need to consider before creating it actually. First thing, like we will create based on the data, and we will update the body of that that data, like the diary data. We just need the body part, so we will get the data from the client, and after we take the body part and we will gonna update it. And one more thing we need, can you guess it? That is the user, because we need to create an foreign key relationship with the user. So we also have to store that part in the foreign key part of the user, that user have the foreign key relationship with diary table having the body part, having some entry in this body. So it can, to maintain the relationship, we also need the user also, and we have to pass the user, so that there could be one link that this is the node entry of that particular user, like the foreign key relationship, many to one relationship that we have created. See that we have created here many to one relationship, that is foreign key. See, if you hover over it, you will see that foreign key. If you scroll down, so if you scroll down, see, oh man, if you scroll down here, you will see that provide a many to one relationship by adding a column to local model to hold the remote value. Okay, if you're getting it, so many to one relationship. So we have to take care of this part when we create our diary entries. Okay, so it's gonna be post request as usual. You don't want to get, we want to post request from the client side. This URL will serve that post request, def create diary entry. So it's gonna take request only, we don't need any primary key. And what's it gonna take from the client side actually? It's just coming this way only, I don't know. So we're gonna need the, firstly we need the data. So we'll get the data as request. So whatever the request header we get, we can take the data from there, from the client side. So we'll store the data, and also we need the user. So user equal to, again, this is a one of the important thing, like you have to consider. When I get into the authentication part, we done the authorization. Now we're gonna do the authentication part, where we're gonna authenticate the user, that this is the user only which is have the diary entry and as well as the operation, CRUD operation that the user can perform. So to get the data, we pass something called a token here, or auth token. So we also use this auth token to authenticate the user, and that auth token need to be passed through a client side, and we're gonna store that in the client side first. Then once we log in the user, we will create that token, and that token will be saved in the client side, that is our React side. Then we take that token, using in a global context, use context, we will save that. We'll get into that later. Okay, so from that we will pass the token as a HTTP request. That from that token we will take the user, and which will have the all the entries of the user, which will have the user ID, which will we use to maintain the foreign key relationship. Okay, hope you get it why you are taking this user ID. So what's you gonna do now? So diary entry, that's it only. Entry equal to diary. So we're gonna create it now. Diary dot object. See the ORM making so much easier for us. Otherwise, we have to write the SQL query here. So ORM dot create. See the create. What does create do? Can you see that? Okay. So create. So if you go into the definition here, can you see the definition? No. So create itself here. So we can create like this. I think it's database part, how they're handling it. Okay, don't get into that. But yeah, if you get the idea. So we'll create, and we'll what we're gonna do here. We stored the body part. We just take the body part, whatever the body field of the database, the diary database, this field. Actually, we'll take this field, the where the text area will be stored, and we will take the data which have all the user, which have all the data, diary data that we have passed taking from the client side as a post request, and then we're gonna take the body part, body of that request. And one more thing we have to need to update, you guessed it, you have to update the user also with the user ID. I will set the user in such a way we can get the user ID data from the client side. Okay, don't worry about that for now. So now what's the next part? Serializer, RIALIZER, serializer equal to diary serializer. So we have the diary entry, and we need the many equal to false, FAL. Return response this serializer dot data. You can pass some message also, but we don't need that. Okay, so like something like that, entry is created or not. So we have done with this part. Now we have to register the URL. So one more thing you need to take care of this, we cannot get the entry without creating the user. So we have to create after the entries here, otherwise we will get the issue. You might be thinking that's very small issue, but when you run the code you will got the issue that there something will break down actually. So we have to create after the getting the entry, so we can get the entries and we can create after that. So what's we need here, we can pass it anything we want, like entries dot create, maybe, yeah, that will work. So diary entry not get diary entry, create, get diary entry, create entry, created, yeah, create entry, something like that. So we will have this URL. So now let's test this. Mostly you have to run the server. I am not running the server actually. Why is automatically coming for me? I have no idea. Just go this. Again we have to restart our virtual env, ppnv cell. Now python manage.py run server. So I'm gonna take this, we'll have not have anything. So slash API slash entry slash create. So we have the create method here, and that is post and option method. So we have post method here. So if you're gonna do it here something like that, you're gonna post the body. Suppose I pass the body here, it might cause an error because let's do that, try to do that once. Let's see, body is like hey buddy something, and user like, what was the user, I forgot. Let's check that. Let's check it from here. What was the user ID for that? Let's check the all entries. API slash, so for user 2 actually, let's create that. Then user, let's see it's going to work or not. I don't have no idea. It will work. Let's see. Okay, we need to double quote actually. This. Okay, we will see, of course. Okay, we have to pass the instance. So as you see, that was not allowed because we are not passing the anything there. So we are just passing the user ID there, something like that. So this can always resolve when you get the user from the backend front end side, from the client side. Okay. So but it will work. Okay, definitely I will show you when I will work it that from the front end on the React side. Okay, don't worry about it. So we have done with this, because right now we don't have any user. So done with create. Now let's do the updation. So update will be what? It kind of a put request, because we're gonna update the part of it. And if update the entry, you're gonna need the request here, and we're gonna need the PK, because we're gonna update based on the ID of that node. I'm sorry. So we need the data, which data we're gonna update it. Then diary entry equal to diary dot object dot, what's he gonna do here? We're gonna get that based on the PK value, we'll get it. Then you're gonna serialize that data. Serializer equal to diary serializer, and we're gonna take it as an instance. That's that thing you have to taking care of here. You have to pass an instant here. So we're gonna pass this diary entry as an instant, and of course many equal to false. False. And after that, what's we gonna do here? We'll check that if serializer dot is valid, va is valid. Now we are getting it. So if this is valid, then what's it gonna do? We're gonna save this. So it will interact with ORM and it will save the data. Okay. So we need this. So now we have saved the data, and finally we return the value. Return the data, whatever data is there. Dot data. Okay. So this is the updation part. We done it. Let's update the URL here. Then I'm gonna copy this. We're gonna update this. Just change this to update. So we can update here. So update diary entry. You can write it here. Update entry, something like that. So now let's test this. You can update it not. Whatever. Okay, you have to return the response. Don't do this mistake. Okay, I have to return a response here. So we're gonna response it. Now we'll check it in the front end that is working or not. Okay, that server is running or not. Let's see that. Okay, server is running. Perfect. Let's see that it's working or not. So what we're gonna do, what we have doing here, we're getting the data from the client side. We are taking the primary key, then we are serialize it, and then we save the data. Okay, that's the thing we're doing here. So actually we have to pass the data also. Now whatever data is there, we have to need to update the data also. So we're gonna pass this data equal to data. Okay, this way. So we have to take the data of the part. We're gonna pass the data object which will contain the data that we need to update. Okay, and it will update it automatically. Okay, so let's see that. Let's see this. So let's see now. Hope it's not. We hope I haven't broke anything. It's three only, and update. Let's see. Okay, so we have the update method allowed. So let's update it. Let me first get the data. What is the entity saying here? So we have this. Okay, so can we update this? I think it's still not gonna work here, but let me try this once. I'm gonna update the body. Let's see. Body updated something. Let's type this only. Okay, so it updated actually. Nice. And let me check the entry now. Okay, it's not updated. Refresh. I don't know, maybe from the client side you will get the data. Okay, don't worry about that. I still have to log in, I guess, again. Okay, I'm already logged in. Let's see the diaries. I don't know any idea about this. This is first entry. This is the third entry. Okay, but yeah, still we are just passing the data, and I think it's updated now. Maybe when I do from the send from the request from the front end, it might update that. So, but yeah, it's still working. So that's the only thing. So we can send parts where you're gonna update the data. It will be updated from the client side. It will work. Okay. Now let's now work. Okay. So let's now work with the last method, that is delete method. Don't worry about it. If you're not able to visualize it, just try it. You will get the visualization once I get it, once I connect it, once I start sending the request from the client side, then I will show you again these parts. Okay, don't worry about it now. You might be thinking it's not working. It's not. I'm not getting any data, or I'm not able to create the entries, but you will able to do it. Okay, it's just a API we are building, and to make this API, we have to get a request from the client side first. Then we can serve this. Okay. Now it will delete. So def delete diary entry. Okay. So what you need here, we need the request here, request, and we need the PK. Of course, how can you delete without knowing the what ID we need? So we don't need anything here now because we don't need any data. We don't need to pass anything actually from the client. Equal to, we're gonna get it first, the specific ID, not ID serializer, it's the ID actually. Dot, it's only our database now. Object dot get. So we'll get the database first, get the ID of that, get the entry of based on the ID. After getting it, we just gonna, what we're gonna do here, just think about it. So we will gonna just directly delete it. Why we do we need to serialize the data? No, we don't need to serialize the data actually. It doesn't require, because we are just deleting it. We don't need to do anything, like we just get the data from the database based on the primary key and just we delete that. So delete, I guess, diary entry dot delete. So it's a basic simplest CRUD operation you can think of. Okay, then we return something to the client. Let we're gonna send the response as, and just send the response as something like entry is deleted, something, so that it can work, it can know that we are deleted something. Okay, so what's it gonna do there? We have to register the user. The same thing, exact thing we're gonna do. We're gonna just delete it. Okay, and delete here and delete here. Okay, so yeah, everything is stacked. Let's see now. So can you see one more thing, like update is there, so you can see a put method. When we go to just here, okay, not slash, sorry, you will find that you have only get method here, and when you go to this create here, sorry, actually this, so we will have here post request. Okay, so similarly you see this here, delete, when you're gonna delete it, you will see the delete method here. Okay, so if you delete this, it will delete it actually. Let's trace it, is working or not. Which diary entry is deleting actually? Let's try this. I don't know if it's deleted or not. Let's check it. Diaries. Yeah, it is deleted. Okay, so see that it's working based, those requests are working, like we are working the get request and the get and that delete request. These are we are able to do it because we are not getting any, we are not waiting for any client to send us something, then we could put a response. We can do it from our side also, but for the put request, and that is the update, and that is and one the create one, for that we need the client token from the client and the user data, then we can create the data from their side and we can update the data. So that's why we are not able to do it. We will understand it better when I will move to the front end part. Okay, so don't worry about it now. We have done lots of here, and I think you have learned many things from this. Okay, so this is the way you build a project. So all the database, all the our views are ready, APIs are ready now, and we just need to make a connection, and we already have the front end ready. Now we have to connect the backend and front end. That is the main part of, as a main role of a full stack developer. That the extra thing you have to do apart from the backend developer and front end developer, that you need the extra knowledge to able to make the client talk to the server. Okay, hope you're getting it. We are making the client to talk to the server. So how are we gonna do that? And this is the most important thing, and most important thing, and most, I can say, the complexity will be somewhat different from the front end and back end. Okay, I'm not saying that it's very difficult. You will, once you go through it, you will able to understand it very efficiently. But for now, but I can say that we will be learning, there will so much learning in that part. Okay, we just learn here from the completing entirely backend and front end. We just learn only 55% from now, and rest for 45% we will be learning through that part. Okay, so see the okay, so we have created our views here, whatever the is your request, and APIs are ready now. We just need, so APIs are ready now. So now we will make and a necessary thing to connect this front end and back end. Okay, so before that, let's commit our changes now. Where is that? Not here. Git bash shell. Okay, git status, and so see the database, we have modified the database because we performed delete operation. So that git we can git add, git commit -m dash dash, create, update and delete views, done. Okay, perfect. So we work with that. Now we will, for some time, now the main tasks come. Now we will run the front end server and back end server together and combine them. Okay, how we gonna write the logic for combining both front end and back end. Okay, so we're gonna do it now.